In Sexyland, and I am the mayor. I am your host, the greatest metal YouTuber, nay, the greatest YouTuber there ever is, there ever was, and there ever shall be. Performance-enhancing beverage, baby. Housed in my Peter Steele Playgirl pose koozie. Peter Steele is like, yes. Alright, so welcome to another Killbot live stream. Haven't done one of these in quite a while, and I'm feeling the spirit. We got A-Man98, Peep Knox, we got all these lovely people showing up who've been coming to the live streams non-stop. Okay, let me go ahead and move this over to the right a little bit. There we go. That way you guys can see the poster, and I got a new bookshelf I'm going to have to show you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so we got Metal Manic, we've got Guten Tag Killbot, Megan Raquel, hello from work. Hello from my work as well. Or at least part of it anyway. Hey, the picture quality's coming out really good on this. That's a nice thing. Sometimes people get surprised when I tell them I do videos on my iPhone, because the picture quality just comes out really good. So, hi Killbot, how you doing? Zoofagus, how you doing? Dank Memes, hello. Let's see, make sure that this is still where I want it to be. Maybe I should move it forward just a little bit. That way you can see my lovely, beautiful face some more. See, some people go, well, you know, you get your hair in your face all the time. Honey, I can still see. See this? I look pretty good. What the hell? Why can you still see that thing? What the fuck? Okay, tell you what. Why don't we do this right here? Okay. Ah, crap. I swear it looked better when I tested it first. That Peter Steele impression got me. Well, we are going to be talking about Peter a little bit tonight because for those who saw my latest video, I finally got to visit the Green Man's grave. That was a very emotional moment for me because he was a big influence. Here's the thing. I was just getting into metal when he died, so I didn't even listen to Typo yet. In fact, I didn't start listening to Typo Negative till about 2018. And that was when my friend Laura got me into them. She runs the Dead by Dawn Records label. And she's a big Typo Negative fan. So through talking to her, she convinced me to listen to them one day. And they've been one of my favorite bands ever since. There's also the memorial tree that's in Prospect Park over in Brooklyn. And some of you know that, he used to work for the Parks Department before he became a rock star. And that's what he would have been happy doing the rest of his life if music didn't take him in the direction it took him in. Well, somebody who worked with him in the Parks Department a year after he died wanted to plant a memorial tree in his honor. So, it's a little tricky to find, but once you do find it, and again, the directions usually aren't useful when I look for them on Google. Once you do find it, you just kind of have to take it in, bask in the moment. Right nearby is a park bench that's dedicated to him. And if I were a spiritual person, excuse me, if I were a spiritual person in the slightest, which I'm not, I would have said, maybe Peter is messing up all the pictures that I'm trying to take of this because I look pretty horrible in all of these. Fortunately, the pictures that I did post on social media and post in the video, again, watch the latest video, those turned out pretty good. So after about 30 minutes of trying with both of them, Peter probably would have been like, okay, here's your good picture. Now get the fuck out of here. Asan Z, hey Killbot, Shane here. Thanks again for the patch and signature. I'll make sure to leave a positive review as soon as I can. Etsy won't let me until June for some reason. That's weird. Like, I can understand if they don't want to let you leave negative reviews for a while, but positive reviews, you want to get that stuff out as quick as possible. Hey Killbot, hi _ how you doing? And I'm waiting to see if Anahi's going to be in here. Where you at, Anahi? If you're here, type. I told you to type. I told you to be here. Don't make me come looking for you. Anyway, I didn't start listening to Typo till 2020, and I didn't know he died. Well, yeah, he was larger than life. Now, this is the weird thing about some of the bands I listen to is there are a lot of dead musicians, and some of these bands I don't get into until after somebody dies, like David Bowie. I didn't start listening to him until just before the pandemic. And he'd already been dead for a few years, so there you go. Let's see, more game fuel. That's so good. I'm going to be jittery and energetic this whole time. So we got Peter Steele, but yeah, so Typo Negative, that was my trip over to New York that I took 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so Skinny Puppy, they came to Charlotte and Asheville a couple weeks ago on the 14th and the 15th of April. And having been a fan of Skinny Puppy for all this time, I was excited to go see them. I had a motto: you only live once. Go see Skinny Puppy twice. And especially since I'd never been to Asheville before, I wanted to go see them, especially if this was their final tour like they're advertising it to be. And so, yeah, that happened. I got the VIP package for Charlotte, and yeah, the sound check was cool, the posters were pretty cool, and my poster is unique. You've watched the video. Watch it beginning to end. Look, don't let the length scare you. That's what he said. But 40 minutes, not a second wasted. Everybody who said so, everybody who's seen the video, all say the same thing. It plays like a little mini movie. You know, it's paced well, and apparently I have a talent for making even the mundane stuff like the VIP coordinator explaining the rules interesting. I don't know. And I throw a little bit of my own personal life in there too, you know, like going to the pizza place after the second night in New York. Just so many good memories from going to New York and going to the show. The Uber trips fucking killed me. God damn. The Uber and Lyft rides probably cost more than the Airbnb and the flights combined. Which, if you live in New York City, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the second night, I thought maybe I could save a few dollars if I just walked for a little bit before calling an Uber. I walked a whole hour. Not $1 price change on that Uber trip. And then that fucking Uber ride over to Farmingdale to go visit Peter. My goodness. That, you don't want to know. Trust me. Now, I know some people are probably going to say in the comments, oh, well, you know, you could have gotten a train and walked about 20 minutes here and then got on another train and walked 30 minutes there and waited about an hour and then blah, blah, blah. Dude, I didn't want to get stuck at some damn train station. I didn't want to get stuck at some damn train station with God knows who around me, possibly getting mugged with my fucking camera gear on me, trying to take pictures and videos of the grave. And I just wanted a straight shot there, quiet ride. That's what I wanted. With as little aggravation as possible. Well, I got it. And you know what? It was worth every penny. Because I knew that if I didn't go visit that gravesite, I don't know when I'm going to be back in New York, so I don't know when the next chance would be. Now, the next time I go to New York, I want to go visit some Ramones sites because I'm a pretty big Ramones fan, so I know there's Joey Ramone Place. I know there's the high school. There's CBGB's. There's the place where they shot their first album cover. There's the place where they shot Too Tough to Die. So many different places for the Ramones. Glorbus of glittery girliness. That rolled off my tongue. Hi. Hey, how you doing? Amia Brunner. What's your favorite monster flavor? Hey, green original. That's what I like. And there's one of the blue monsters that I like. Like, here's the thing. Some of the monsters taste like cough syrup to me. So I'm real picky about my energy drinks. I used to like Amp when it came out because, you know, same company as Mountain Dew. But I don't know what happened to Amp. I think they like changed their formula or something because after a certain point I started drinking it was tasting kind of nasty, kind of bitter. So I switched over to Monster and never really looked back. But and I don't drink Monster often either. Like, believe it or not, this is a good muse for the videos. Like, if I want to come up with ideas or edit all day, or if I want to have a good shoot,
Monster. Now, some might think Mountain Dew. Well, Mountain Dew is a good muse some of the time, but if I want to get work done, this right here. I also usually drink one of these before I go to goth night. It's not so I'm jittery when I get there, it's so that I can stay awake on the drive home. It is underrated how easy it is to fall asleep behind the wheel. As I almost did coming home from Richmond the other night because I went to see Frontline Assembly in Virginia, which I'll get to that. That was almost a 3-hour trip. I thought it was going to be like 2.5 hours, but ended up being 3. We'll discuss that. I just want to read some comments first. Zoofagus, are you going to be seeing Toxic Holocaust this summer? I might do that. I saw them a few years ago in a pizza place for about $5. It was a last-minute show. Capacity might have been 100 people. It was awesome. I think the biggest reason I wanted to go to that was just so I could say that I saw a metal band in a pizza place, you know? Sonny Smith, yeah, the video was very interesting and time passed by fast watching it. Thank you. Thank you so much. For those who don't know, the video is called Ohgr's Brain Confetti, Seeing Skinny Puppy 4 Times. It is probably the best thing I've come up with in a long time. Marshmallows being another best thing. In the video I mentioned in the beginning, the video I did in 2016 called The Quest for Last Rites, which that's kind of the basis of the story right there. It's just knowing the background. Just out of curiosity today, I rewatched The Quest for Last Rites for the first time in years. I don't watch my own videos because generally I like to finish them and move on to next projects. But I saw this for the first time in years, and there were quite a few film techniques that I don't even use anymore. Like, I used to speed up my videos by a few percent just to liven them up a little bit, help the energy. And I just don't do that anymore. Also, my audio is a lot better. And my voice has changed. You know, I sounded like this in some of my older videos, so... you know. Also, I feel like I'm more athletic, if that makes any kind of sense, so that's helped. Asan Z, speaking of Peter, my Carnivore 1985 vinyl came a few days ago. Also ordered the Retaliation album as well. Can't wait. Well, that's good. Metal Manic. I first listened to Typo because my older brother showed me the band in 2013. Me and him listened to Bloody Kisses, and I loved that album. Well, that's good. A-Man 98. Yeah, subways. From what I've experienced, it can get sketchy. It can be. I mean... The thing is, I was staying in Upper Harlem, which okay, watch the video, because some of the stuff I'm repeating over and over, but, like, in the video, I pretty much explained that Skinny Puppy's sound tech, Dre. Turns out that he likes my videos. So, after I went home from the Asheville show and did a post on the show, he hit me up and he said, hey, if you want to see any more shows, let me know and I'll put you on the list. Oh boy, I wasn't going to miss this chance to say that I got on a Skinny Puppy guest list. No fucking way. One of my favorite bands of all time. There's no way I'm missing this. So I called up a family member in Cleveland, and that situation was weird. I'm still not over that. And then I thought about Boston. Then I thought, wait a minute. They're playing 2 nights back-to-back in New York. Because they sold out night 1 in like 6 hours or something. And then... they had to add a second date, so I was like, well, fuck, let me book this. And I booked it so quickly, like, I probably, if I'd waited a few more minutes and looked around a little more, maybe I could have gotten something closer to the venue. And I probably could have saved some money on Ubers, but, you know, I was just so excited to be there, and I wanted to tell Dre to put me on that list so fast. So I was ready for it. It was a short notice trip. You know, he told me this on Monday or Tuesday, and the show was Friday, so it was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I mean, don't you ever go on spontaneous trips like that? I love those. And some people, they ask me, it's like, oh, you travel for shows? Sometimes you have to, you know, in order to experience some of the fun things that you get to experience. Shows are a good reason to travel. And I've seen shows in probably 11 different states at least. I've been to shows in Texas. I've been to shows in New Orleans, Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Ohio, and there's one other one I can't remember. Anyway. Combat 97. I would love to see Dee Dee Ramone's grave. Hey, if you go see Dee Dee's grave, they have the Dee Dee Ramone ducks, which I follow their Instagram. Basically, somebody, this couple, I guess, they have ducks from the lake. They feed them, and they have them gather at Dee Dee Ramone's grave. It's adorable. A-Man 1998. Are you gonna see Death Clock? No, because the closest they're coming to me is the festival in Virginia called Blue Ridge. And as much as romantically I love the idea of seeing a bunch of bands in one day, I don't really like the festival environment. I don't like long lines to the bathroom. I don't like long lines for merch. I don't like long lines for food. I don't like the traffic. I don't like dealing with jackasses all day. I don't like standing around and walking around all day, getting cooked in the sun. Fuck that shit. There was a metal channel I watched pretty recently who did a video on the drawbacks for metal festivals, and a lot of stuff that I've been saying for years, he said in the video. I mean, yes, they can be fun, but there are so many things that just drive me batshit crazy about them that I would just rather go see a band play their own show. But also, bands' performances, I feel like, are a bit rushed when they play festivals because they know that there are like a dozen bands ahead of them. So they're constantly watching the clock. Okay, do we have time for one more song? Okay, bye! If you see a band on their own, even if they have to be gone by 11 o'clock, they're going to take their time and they're going to give you the best show possible without any distractions. I prefer that. All right. Glorbus of Glittery Girliness. Hey, dude, do you like Switchblade Symphony? Yes, I do. And Tina Root is back on Instagram. She is teasing new music. I don't know if it's Switchblade or not, but I gave her a follow. Hopefully it's Switchblade, because I would love to see them. I heard that their shows in the 90s were pretty legendary. And I'll tell you what, I got this pretty recently. I have all their studio albums, but this right here, it's a live album. Sweet Little Witches. It's really good. Look at that. That little picture of those two. It's adorable. And the funny thing is, like, Tina works in real estate now, so she looks completely different. But yeah, if you get the live album, it actually sounds better than some of the studio album stuff. It's really good. Another reason to own live albums. Let's see, another goth band that I have bought recently. What else? Mephisto Waltz. They're an offshoot of Christian Death, and when I looked on Discogs and eBay, their CDs were pretty expensive. I did the smart thing and looked at their Bandcamp page, and their early albums are available for $9 a piece. On the Bandcamp, they said to message them before I buy anything because the Bandcamp price calculator for shipping is a little messed up. So I sent them an email, and Barry said, hey, just send me $35 for all these CDs you want, and I'll throw in something for free. I'll even autograph them. I said, well, in that case, maybe I should buy another CD. Oh, I'll throw that in for free. Okay. I sent him a few extra dollars just cause, Good stuff. Great stuff. Oh, and speaking of autographed CDs, I may as well show you this. And I know this is primarily a metal channel, so some of you probably aren't even going to know this band at all, but Faith in the Muse, right here. I bought these two albums directly from Monica, and she was nice enough to autograph them for me. Hey, Tony, peace, light, and life. Aww. And what is she writing this one? For Tony with love, Monica. Aww. And the cool thing was, when I opened these, the security seal was still on them, okay? So somehow she opened the booklets and got them out of the case without removing the security seal. I emailed her and asked her how the hell she did that. Because that's talent. She was like, oh, it just takes years of practice. Okay. So good. All right. 20 minutes in. Time for a joke. What does a robot do on a one-night stand? Anyone? Anyone at all? He nuts and bolts. Foxifer, are you planning more industrial-oriented videos? Well, I want to do a video on Skinny Puppies, the process. I think I'm probably going to wait on that because if I subscribe to Kevin Key's Patreon, I know that he does these long retrospectives on Skinny Puppy albums, and he's been going one by one. The latest one he did was on Too Dark Park, so I guess he's going through all of them in order. So, he's going to do Last Rites next, and I suppose after that he's going to do the process. And I suppose that that's going to be where the bulk of my information is going to come from. And so I want to be sure that I give this album, the ultimate tribute that I can. It's basically going to be in the same format as the Ministry album videos I've been doing, but I don't know, it's going to be focusing more on the backstory than the music itself, I think. So, I mean, think about it. You have the ultimate tragic album, okay? It went through 3 producers. There was label interference because they were on a new label. 1 member left, 1 member died, the band broke up. Think about it. It's the ultimate tragic album story. Garfield the Kitten. Hello, hey, how you doing? Let's see. Nuts and bolts. Okay, so catching up on the comments. So here we are. I have new product. I've got Killbot stickers. These are 2.88-inch die-cut stickers. They are durable and weatherproof. I have them on my Etsy shop and my Bandcamp page for $2 a piece. And I'm pretty happy with the way they came out. I got them from Sticker Mule, had about 500 of them made, and these have been selling like hotcakes. I love the way they look, the quality is excellent, and I even have one on my CD tower. You can't even see it anyway, but yeah, so $2 a piece. So go buy some. I'll try to have them shipped out on Monday if you buy a bunch this weekend, because I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be in New Orleans because I'm visiting a family member, and while I'm there, we are going to see The Cure. I've been wanting to see The Cure since 2016. I tried to arrange it with a friend back in 2016. I just said that. And I got kind of dicked around there, and it didn't happen. So, this is making up for that. Sometimes when I go to shows, that's the whole purpose of doing it, is because I missed them in the past. Or some tragic thing happened and I wasn't able to go to the show. Would you make a video about Christian death similar to your amazing typo video? Why, thank you. Thank you so much, Callum Cook. It's possible. I mean, this is primarily a metal channel, but I don't mind going out and talking about some industrial or some rock or some punk or some goth stuff once in a while. But, like, I know what this audience enjoys. But if more of you want to see stuff like that, I'll be happy to do so. Just know that I'm still getting into a lot of it, so I may be a little out of my depth on some of it. So there you go. Luke Feliciano. Hey, any good websites or stores for patches and merch and whatnot? You mean like having them made? Well, I have my stickers made by Sticker Mule. Excellent quality stuff. Guitar picks you can have done by Intune Guitar Picks. That's where I got mine done a few years ago, and I need to have more made. PM Star Promotions is an amazing place to get patches. That's where I get mine made. He makes merch for Goat Whore, Soylent Green, Exorder, Crowbar, and a bunch of other bands from New Orleans. So, If it's good enough to make for all of those bands, you know it's good enough for you. He also makes guitar picks as far as I know, so hey, give him your business. Good quality, and he usually does it in a timely fashion. He's currently on tour with Goatwhore right now, but he has assistants that help him sometimes. Let's see, Callum Cook. I'm super jealous you're seeing The Cure. I've always wanted to see them. And you know the cool thing about The Cure is supposedly they play these really long shows, like 2.5 to 3 hours. That's 30 songs at least. Wow! And like they change up the set list slightly every night, so that's going to be good. It's going to be hard to sit there without having to like go to the bathroom every 5 minutes, but... Castle Crasher Productions. Do the stickers have free shipping? They do if you buy it within the United States. If you buy it from anywhere else in the world, I think I have it set to where it costs $1 extra. But don't worry. You'll get them. I ship them out usually on the same day. Vigo the Butch, would you consider doing videos on black metal bands? I did one on Bathory back in 2016. Well, I did 2 on Bathory. I wouldn't mind doing that. I know that Immortal has a new album coming out this month. Alex Flamer, are you interested in Depeche Mode and Duran Duran? They're also touring. Not Duran Duran, but I like Depeche Mode, some of it. They're not coming anywhere near me, so you know what? Fuck them. Normandy, hey Killbot, do you make any music or plan on making music in the future? Well, I have a Bandcamp page, which you can find my Tales from the Tube collection on. I have music videos up here, and I've got some song ideas floating around here and there. There's a song idea that I've come up with back in November that has like this Cradle of Filth type riff and synth line, because I want to start incorporating some synths into the metal. Gonna be some good stuff. Thinking it's gonna be like the subject might be a spell that backfires or something. I don't know. Underscore, are the stickers limited supply? I have 500 made, so I think they're gonna last me a while, but if they run out, I will have more made. Alex Flamer, did you see Obituary, Immolation, and Blood Incantation? Yes, I did. I saw them in Charlotte. That was the first night of the tour, and the whole night was weird. The crowd was deader than shit. Like, the bands did a great job, okay? Even though Obituary played mostly stuff from the new album, the set was good, but the crowd was dead, man. Like, Obituary is usually wide the fuck open as far as the mosh pit goes, but everybody was just standing still with their arms crossed. People were buying merch in the middle of the set. What the fuck? I couldn't believe it. Immolation, I think, did the best job of getting the crowd engaged, but even then, that crowd, like, needed monsters or something. Of course, Jason Kaiser was part of the crew for Immolation, so it was nice to see him. I said hello to him for a few minutes, and a lot of people walked up to talk to me, which I definitely don't mind. I am more than happy to take pictures with people, and usually I have stickers to give out. I ran out of stickers pretty quickly. And the strangest thing, one of my enemies, who I haven't spoken to in 5 years, we made eye contact, and as soon as I registered it was him, I just looked forward again, tried to ignore him. And then he walked up to me, and he shook my hand. He was like, I remember you. I was like, yeah, I remember you. He was handing out flyers for some shit he was doing. But I was sitting over there thinking, did you forget the reason why we stopped speaking? I don't like you. You're a scumbag. Fuck off. But I kind of wanted him to go away as quickly as possible. I was at a show, so, you know, the last place you want to get in arguments or fight at is shows, so there you go. Christian Botha, are you going to check out Frontline Assembly and Split Second, which is a great tour? Well, I just saw Frontline Assembly over in Richmond. I know that they opened up for Ministry over in Charlotte on Sunday, but it's a good thing I didn't go too, because I heard that the fucking power blew in the first 10 minutes, so Frontline didn't get to play as long as they were supposed to. But I was also thinking, okay, so I've seen Ministry 3 times. I don't want to see Al lip sync for a 4th time. And fuck going to see Frontline for only 30 minutes. I want to see them headline. Well, that was the goal, and that's what I did. I went to Richmond, and they played a really good set list. First 2 bands, I guess they were local openers, and they did a reasonably good job, but as soon as Frontline got on stage, the energy in the room shifted. So good. The thing that kind of pissed me off, though, was like, at the merch booth, they were out of the fucking shirts that I wanted. I wanted the Tactical Neural Implant shirt with the track listing on the back. Excuse me. Track listing on the back. And they were out of my size. I wear a large. Like, every show I go to almost, they're out of large shirts. It's the most popular shirt size. Why don't you have more made? I mean, that's like making 1 pepperoni pizza and then making 3 supreme pizzas with onions. Pepperoni is the most popular pizza ever. Anyway. But yeah, it was a great show. I'm glad I went. Got to see Dave Brocky's grave again. I wasn't able to leave a rose for him the last time I saw him, so this time I made sure to do so. Before I left town, I went to this Christmas and flower shop. Yeah, Christmas store that's open all year. I walked in there, having never walked in there before, and I asked him for a rose, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, if you or anyone you know needs any Christmas stuff, it's 50% off right now. Christmas is right around the corner." Yeah? Yeah, I guess it is. And then he said, "Oh yeah, somebody on Facebook the other day posted that it's only 266 days before Christmas." Yeah, okay. And without being rude and trying to insult the guy in his own shop, I was like, yeah, so, I guess flowers are your biggest selling point here? Yeah, they are. Okay, cool. So I left a rose for Dave, and as I was sitting there with him, 3 Guar fans approached the grave, and we shared a moment together. They told a couple stories about Dave, how he showed up to a lot of local shows in Richmond, and when people found out he was there, they would go get their CDs and have him sign them. Apparently somebody painted a mural for him on the 14th Street Bridge, and I haven't gone to it yet, but next time I go, I'll be sure to swing by. See, back to the comments. Foxifer, do you recommend Skinny Puppy's The Process? I've heard mixed opinions on it. Honestly, it's one of my favorite albums by them. I mean, it's different. It's not what a lot of people want from Skinny Puppy, but it's a slightly different sound, and Ohgr sounds more organic because he's not using any vocal effects. Like, that's the biggest change. But also, like, I guess there was label interference, and the label wanted them to be more like 9 Inch Nails than Skinny Puppy, so the sound is a little more polished, but that doesn't mean it's bad. You know, like Hard Sat Head, Cult, Candle, Death, Cursible, awesome songs. Yeah, that's the cool thing about Skinny Puppy. Any album could be your favorite album for different reasons. You know, even the fans that only like the old stuff and not the reunion stuff, you know, one might say they like Bites the best, one might say they like Rabies the best, some say Vivisect 6, some say Too Dark Park. I mean, it depends on the listener, you know? Skinny Puppy was progressive like that, and yeah, that's the magic of that band, really. They were always able to evolve. A-Man 1998. Are there any bands who has never released a bad album? Personally, I feel like the Ramones never released a bad album, although I will say that they started releasing some horrible songs later in their career. I'm Not Jesus, Worm Man, Can't Get You Out of My Mind. No. Sonny Smith. One of the reasons I started getting into metal shows was because the crowd seemed like they were actually enjoying it instead of just holding their phones up. Well, that shit's starting to bleed into metal too. And the reason I film at shows is because I know that someday I might get to use some of the footage in a video. You might have seen my video last year called The Appeal of Concerts. Well, that pretty much included almost every band that I've filmed in the last 5 years. So yeah, that was reason to do it. I mean, obviously I don't do it a whole song most of the time. And usually, like, people fucking live stream the shit on Facebook or Instagram. The whole show. Not just one song, the whole show. And it's like, who is going to watch that? No one. I think I'm slightly congested. Gonna have to fix that before I leave on Monday. James Saville finally made a live stream. Awesome. Thank you so much. Christian Botha. Read Woman from the Underground. It is a good book on 80s woman band. Okay. I'll have to do that. Where is your P.O. box? Send me a message on Instagram and I'll tell you. I hope that skinny puppy ticket I sent you was put to good use. The second one was, because I know that first show they canceled it because the roof was leaking, so unfortunately that person missed out on getting to see them. But the second person I gave it to, they sent me pictures later that night. They were super appreciative. So yeah, thank you for passing along somebody's chance to go see one of the greatest bands of all time. Let's see. Cruzine, hey Killbot, do you like Dungeon Synth? Well, I guess Danzig's Black Aria counts, doesn't it? I like that. Rylard, I feel it's because of people recording metal concerts that live albums are essentially not worth releasing nowadays. Yes! And I hate that. I like live albums. I like live DVDs. They're fun. And hopefully for this Skinny Puppy tour, final tour supposedly, they release a live album. You know, it's always been a dream of mine to be at a show where a live album's been recorded. But, you know, from a business standpoint, I understand it. Now, the reason why live albums have kind of come back during the pandemic was because that was the way for bands to make revenue. You know, for them to do live streams and live from rehearsals streams. And, you know, they were able to sell that. And that was their revenue because they couldn't tour. Excuse me. Zoophagus, did you hear about Trey Azagthoth collapsing? Yes, I did. Sounds to me like he was having a stroke, which at his age, I would worry. Because touring is a hard life. You can't keep it up forever. Blake S. What was the most amount of money you ever spent on a CD? For me, it was Guar's This Toilet Earth with BDF on it. I think I paid $20 for that one when I got it after Dave died. I paid $200 for an original sealed copy of the Misfits 12 Hits from Hell. The version that got pulled from shelves. I sold that copy because I had the bootleg and I don't want something that's $200 just sitting on my wall. And currently, I'm trying to score a copy of the first Vinnie Vincent Invasion album. I don't know. It's just I've been in a bit of a Kiss kick lately, so Vinnie Vincent Invasion, that's something I've always wanted to have in my collection, and here we go. He's only released 2 albums under that name. And he's selling tickets to a listening party sometime in June or May, I don't know. He's charging like $500 for these tickets. Okay, whoever is buying tickets for Vinnie Vincent anything is an idiot at this point. Because he has a bad history of ripping people off, canceling shows. How about that box set that he did pre-orders for in the 90s and never materialized? I'm kind of shocked that a class action suit was never filed against him. Fucking scumbag. I mean, great songwriter, great guitar player, but I don't know what his deal is. You know, Gene and Paul have said a lot of bad shit about people they've worked with over the years, but about Vinny, it seems like they were absolutely right. I'll tell you what about Carnival Kiss, though. I've been collecting more of their CDs. Let's see. Yesterday, actually, I got the deluxe edition of Love Gun from 2014. Listened to it today. Sounds awesome. But I ordered a copy of Carnival of Souls, and I guess the seller accidentally picked the CD next to it, like in the K section, and he sent me a fucking Keith Whitley CD instead. Yeah, that's a pretty far cry from Kiss. Country singer. But yeah, I messaged him. I was like, hey, so you sent me the wrong CD, bud. Oh no, it's in your mailbox. No, you sent me a Keith Whitley album. That's not Kiss. That is definitely not Kiss. And then today I found a bootleg DVD copy on eBay for Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. This is a 2 DVD edition that also has Attack of the Phantoms, which is the European edit of the movie. It is so horrible that it is amazing. Watch it with your friends like you would watch Rocky Horror Picture Show, because it's... oh boy. I've seen it more than once. It is so gloriously dated and cheesy and 70s. And it's wonderful. We love it for it. Like Gene Simmons gave an interview one time. He said, classic movie. Classic movie if you're on drugs. I'll tell you what, though. I got to thinking about something weird today. So, Van Halen fans, you probably know that Sammy Hagar is known for writing love songs and doing more love songs with Van Halen, because they didn't really do that in the David Lee Roth years. Like David Lee Roth's Van Halen had love in the title of a few songs, but they weren't love songs. Like Feel Your Love Tonight. That's not a love song. That's a sex song. But Sammy Hagar, you know, there's Why Can't This Be Love? Love Walks In. When It's Love. Don't tell me what love can do. Can't stop loving you. How romantic, right? Well, I did a weird thing today. I put together a playlist of all the songs with love in the title for Van Halen. And it turns out that there are 4 songs from the Hagar years. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 songs from the Hagar years that have love in the title. And then with Roth, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs with love in the title. Okay. That's interesting. But then I had another idea. Kiss has a lot of songs with love in the title. Way more than Hagar and Roth combined. I counted 23. Let's see. Love Gun. I Stole Your Love. Love Theme from Kiss. Love's a Slap in the Face. I Was Made for Loving You. Save Your Love. Come On and Love Me. Love for All I Can. Do You Love Me? I Love It Loud. I Still Love You. Love's a Deadly Weapon. Radar for Love. All for the Love of Rock and Roll. Tough Love. Calling Dr. Love. Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. Making Love. Prisoner of Love. You Love Me to Hate You. And from the solo albums, Tunnel of Love. Love in Chains. I'm Gonna Love You. I mean, one of their albums is called Love Gun, and the name of the band is Kiss. Wow, what a romantic, sensitive band. Wow. It's one of those things that I just didn't notice until today. I didn't realize how romantic that band was. And they've done ballads that didn't have love in the title. You know, like Every Time I Look at You, Shandy, Reason to Live, which, not a ballad technically, but... yeah, AC/DC never wrote any love songs. Black Sabbath didn't really write any love songs, I guess. I mean, they wrote heartbreak songs, I suppose, breakup songs. It's kind of like My Dying Bride. Like, you notice how fixated they are on certain words. Like, most of their songs begin with the. Like, let's see. I'm going to go through this. My Dying Bride. Let's see. The cry of mankind. The sexuality of bereavement. The forever people. The bitterness and the bereavement. The return of the beautiful. The dreadful hours. The raven and the rose. The deepest of all hearts, the return to the beautiful, the distance busy with shadows, the lies I sire, the night he died, the light at the end of the world, the fever sea, 3 in a row, the ISIS script. Like, so many songs with the at the beginning of the title, like, it's official, you know, it's definitive. Okay, let me get back to these comments before you all lose me. Yurik Hay says, Melvin's recorded a live album for one of the shows I was at last year. Well, that's cool. Melvins are always releasing live albums. Foxfur, were you ever tempted about playing that retail copy of 12 Hits? No. Because I bought it for a specific purpose. I bought it as a collectible. Like, I bought the bootleg to play it specifically. And the sealed one I knew I was never going to open. And I guess that's why I sold it. I said, well, if I'm never going to use it for its intended purpose, may as well get rid of it, you know? Let's see. The Diener, why don't you have barely any Metallica CDs? Man, somebody commented on this the other day. I've got 1,100 CDs in my collection, and all of you are fixated on fucking teeny bopper, overrated, dad rock, boring-ass Metallica that's overplayed everywhere. I heard them at fucking Guar Bar the other day, and I almost lost my appetite. My goodness. Like, do I need Metallica albums? No! Because it's already played and talked about everywhere I go! You know, it's like Guns N' Roses fans from 1987. Oh, well, sometimes I'll tell you, I never bought a copy of Appetite for Destruction, and that's because everybody had it already. You know, it was in people's cars, it was on the radio, it was on MTV. I saw them in concert, I never needed to buy Appetite for Destruction. Well, that's kind of how Metallica is. And top it off with the fact that I don't really like them anyway. That helps. I mean, I own Garage Inc., I own S&M, and that's really all I care to own. I mean, if somebody were to give me a mint copy of Load, just so I can have Outlaw Torn, that'd be fine, I guess, but I'm not spending money on it. Like, Outlaw Torn, I think, is the best song they ever did. Like, bar none. I know people are going to argue with me and bicker about it, but whatever, you know? Seriously, like, there's so many other bands that you could be listening to, and everybody's just obsessed with Metallica. I don't understand it. And everybody's like, oh, are you going to review the new Metallica? They don't need somebody like me reviewing them. They have an army of people who are going to buy their stuff without question. Even Kiss fans, as obsessive as they are, even they can admit that there are limits. Music from the Elder was not a good Kiss album. It's an okay album, horrible Kiss album. Hot in the Shade. I don't like Hot in the Shade. A lot of people don't like Disco Kiss, Dynasty and Unmasked. A lot of people don't like the Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer albums, Sonic Boom and Monster. And many people don't like Psycho Circus. You know, it's a variety of tastes. Even Kiss fans have their limits, and almost universally, nobody likes the solo albums, except for Ace, but that's a different story. Anyway. Blake S. What did you think of the documentary This Is Guar? I think it's decent, but I feel like it should have been longer. Have Chuck Varga in it, but what do you think? I saw it at Alamo Drafthouse in the theater, and I enjoyed it for the most part, though I feel like maybe it should have been a miniseries. Because I feel like they kind of skipped over the whole character mythologies and explaining what each character represents. They also skipped over the label disputes in the 2000s and the 2000s albums like War Party, Beyond Hell, Lust in Space. Also, I was kind of shocked that they allowed Hunter Jackson to say as many things as he said in the movie, because he came off as kind of a prick. He was over there talking about, oh yeah, when Dave died, I didn't care, and that's just how I felt about it. They left that in the movie. I wouldn't have. Alpesh, hey, how you doing? Finally caught you live. Greetings from the north. Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you. Death Grips, are you going to any concerts? I'm going to be seeing The Cure on the 10th in New Orleans. I can't wait to see them. Spider-Man is having me for dinner tonight. How do you like my Rob Smith impression? Yep. So Rob Smith, the way The Cure sold concert tickets for this tour, they wanted to fight against ticket scalpers. So they individually set the prices for each ticket section in each stadium. And they made it a rule that you can't resell the tickets for higher than face value. But also, in order to buy the tickets, they had to text you a code that you had to type in on Live Nation. But the tickets were pretty reasonable. I think I paid like $70 a piece for the section I'm sitting in. And people still complain about the ticket fee prices. And so Rob Smith went and raised hell to Live Nation, and he convinced Live Nation to refund people partially. I got refunded $10, $5 for each ticket. And in the funniest corporate email I think I've ever received, Live Nation sent me an email. They said, hey, so you're getting a partial refund for your tickets to see The Cure. This is all because of Robert Smith. You can just smell the passive aggression. I love it. I took that $10 and I put it towards buying a Cure CD. Now I have every album up to Wild Mood Swings, so I need Blood Flowers, 413 Dream, and the self-titled. I guess I can take my time on all three of those. Vigo the Butch, what's your opinion on deathcore? Better than metalcore, but it's still not my still not in my rotation of listening. I guess I like Carnifex. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Denisha Freeman. Hey, Tony. Hey, how you doing? Hey, it's a shame I didn't get to see you while I was in New York. That would have been cool. Hopefully the shows you went to were worth it, because Skinny Puppy was awesome on night 2. Blake the Beast. Do you like the Mountain Dew energy drinks? You know, I hadn't really tried those. No, wait a minute. I think I tried one a long time ago and I wasn't really impressed. Foxfur, who do you think will actually release their new album? The Cure or My Bloody Valentine? Well, I think The Cure might do it sooner than later, because they've got a bunch of stuff that's unreleased. And I think on the 2009 tour, or it was the 413 Dream tour, I don't even think the album was out yet. And they were already touring for it and playing songs for it. So this tour supposedly is named after the next Cure album. So can't wait to see it. Excuse me. Actually, I ordered a baritone guitar. Man, I'm burping all over the place, man. It's all this. The Cure uses a lot of baritone guitars, and I've been wanting one ever since I saw Paul Barker play one back in 2018. Harley Benton has the JA baritone for about $180 plus shipping, which comes close to about $270, I think. And they're actually still waiting on the manufacturer to send them the guitars, so the order has been delayed a little bit. But I've been wanting a baritone guitar for a long time, and here we go. We finally have a cheap, affordable baritone guitar. It's not $800, not $500 even. The only thing I'm probably going to have to do, I'm probably going to have to replace the tuners, because apparently they cheaped out on the tuners. I think they also cheaped out on the wiring. It might have just been a bad batch, but we'll see when mine comes in. And as soon as I open it, I'm going to start playing some Cure songs. Like Lullaby. Such a sexy song. You should hear Lindsay Schoolcraft's version of Lullaby. It's a good interpretation, different from a lot of interpretations. Personally, I would like to hear her cover a Typo Negative song. You know, I like songs. I like cover songs where, like, you know, it's the opposite gender, because it gives it a whole new spin on the music, I think. So I've been thinking, well, maybe there's a female-fronted metal song that I can cover. What could that be? I should cover Nightwish. Be like, who's your favorite Nightwish singer? Killbot! So technically. Foxfur. According to Robert Smith, The Cure has 2 albums coming up. Songs of a Lost World and something else. Okay. Cool. Well, 2 Cure albums is definitely better than 1. Hopefully he doesn't hold back. I feel like he's kind of held back on the last 2 albums as far as, like, the darkness goes. Like, he wants to make poppier, lighter songs now, and that's not what I listen to The Cure for. You know, I listen to The Cure to kind of have my heart ripped out and to kind of dwell in that darkness. Denisha Freeman. At this point, there's a chaotic urge to buy a synthesizer. I play the piano a little bit, but I want to improve my skills. What you need to know is that the synthesizer is pretty much a different instrument altogether. There's actually a good iPad app that I can show you later if you message me, and if I can remember the name of it, I think it's called something synth. iPad synth app. I can probably tell you right now. AudioKit Synth 1. So look up Synth 1 in the App Store, and it's free, completely free. They got a ton of presets. A bunch of people upload their own presets, and it's pretty fun. I created all the background music in the last video I did, and some of it was made using Synth 1. So there you go. If you want, of course, there's the Korg MS-20. That's a really good classic sounding synthesizer. I think it's about $500. There's also the Arturia Mini Brute, and I believe there's the Micro Freak that just came out. I've looked into getting one. I don't know if I want to invest it yet because I'm still kind of dipping my toes in the water of synth sounds, so there you go. So what else could I be talking about? Oh yeah, so we were talking about New York a few minutes ago. So if you watch the new video, hint hint, Ohgr's Brain Confetti seeing Skinny Puppy 4 times. That's the name of the video. If you watch the video, the part that I left out, the security there was fucking power mad. God damn. So the whole mission of the trip was to see if I can get that last autograph from the band, okay? I have my stuff signed by 3 of them in North Carolina, but I still needed Kevin Key's autograph if I wanted to have the whole band sign the posters. Well, I brought the posters to New York with me, and I brought my Sharpies. Well, the security patted me down, and the lady saw my Sharpies. She was like, "Oh, what are those?" "These are markers." "Oh, you can't bring markers in here. You're gonna have to leave them on the table." And I'm sitting there thinking, hell no, I came all this way, I want my autographs. So I just walked 50 feet in the opposite direction, put them in my shoes, and went back for another pat down, and went right through, no issue. She did say, well, I had my posters like between 2 big pieces of cardboard, so that way they would stay flat. She did almost say, "Oh, you're going to have to coat check those." Fuck you! These are staying with me. Because the whole point is to get them autographed. These are the same posters that these VIP people over here have. I mean, she was power mad, man. And she went overboard after I was done. and in line for the ticket booth. She saw people smoking in line. She was like, "You guys can't bring cigarettes or weed pens or vapes in the building. And don't think I don't see you smoking. I see everything!" She did this 5 feet away from me, and I'm sitting there looking at her like, calm down, lady. God. We're adults. All you have to do is ask us nicely. Trust me. Long story short, the only autograph I got on night 1 in New York was Paul Barker at the merch booth because he was signing stuff for people all night. I didn't get Kevin's autograph until, well, watch the video. Did I mention you should watch the video? And speaking of Skinny Puppy, how many of you have seen that stage accident he got into a few nights ago? Yeah, in Minneapolis, there's a part in the show where he has his brain ripped out and his brain is being spoon-fed to him. Well, supposedly the story goes that when the spoon was put in Ohgr's mouth, he clamped down on it too hard, and the stage tech who was performing this with him pulled the spoon out too hard and too quickly. You could see the pain instantly. Even though Ohgr was wearing an alien outfit, you could see it. Ugh, he went down like a fucking bag of bricks. He missed a few lines on the song. He was visibly in pain. Dustin didn't even know what was going on yet. And when Ohgr did finally start singing again, "This sounded like this," fucked his teeth up, man. And he explained at the sound check the next day that he went to the dentist. They said, "Oh, well, we can put splints in these teeth, but that's going to be more painful than what you're dealing with now. It would be easier for us to just pull these teeth." That man had to have 4 teeth extracted because of that one accident. Oh boy. Oh boy. This tour is putting that poor man through the ringer. He already had to cancel one show because of a stomach virus he was dealing with. And now he's had to have 4 teeth pulled. Yep, this is definitely their final tour. So, they only have a few dates left. I suggest you go see them while you can. Because once this is done, it's done. Whew. Foxford. Dude, I've watched it 5 times already. Does it get better each time? Callum Cook. The songs High and Pictures of You make me cry. They remind me of my mother when she was alive. She was an amazing music fan. Would go from Slayer to Adele when it came to her music taste. Well, sorry to hear about your mother. That's a nice thing about The Cure, though, is they're able to tap into that wide range of emotions, Just so many good songs. Disintegration, the song Disintegration. Fascination Street, obviously. Just so much good stuff. Foxford. Also, did you hear the new Lead into Gold? The album's weird in an awesome way. I did hear it because I bought the vinyl for it and I bought the CD for it. I like the last one better. The Sun Behind the Sun. And actually, I can show you these albums you're talking about. Foxford's talking about Paul Barker's new album, The Eternal Present, which he plays most of this as he's opening for Skinny Puppy. However, he now has CDs of the previous album, The Sun Behind the Sun, which I believe is a better album. For one, it has real drums, some of it done by the late Bill Rieflin, may he rest in peace. And the title track on that album sounds like something you would hear when a sci-fi movie villain appears and, you see the final battle. It's badass. Skeletor 5567. What's up, Killbot? Hey, how you doing? Sonic Doom Official. Bro, why don't you have a copy of Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning in your CD collection? That's the second time somebody's asked me about Metallica tonight. Because I don't like them! There are 1,100 CDs over here. So many better bands to listen to, and you're all focused on teeny bopper Metallica. Like, that's music I liked when I was 12 years old, and I've evolved past that now. You know? Callum Cook. A female cover of Be My Druidess would be amazing. It would be. You know, if it's a female cover of that particular song, you know, maybe it would be like a lesbian anthem or something. I don't know. In Praise of Bacchus. Yes. Some lady in a metal band somewhere needs to do a cover of In Praise of Bacchus. Rylard, you should make a video that's an introduction to industrial music and what albums newcomers can get into first. I did a video like that in 2016. It's called Getting Into Industrial? ? Despite some rather brutal mispronunciations of some band names and some album names, I think the recommendations hold up. And you know the strange thing about that video? When I was doing my research to do the video, I was going on internet groups at the time, asking what bands I should include and what bands I should look into. And a lot of people named bands, but also, you know, I explained the mission for the video was, you know, just so my audience, and so that way other people who want to stop in one place can find a starting point for industrial music. And one person commented, if people want to find this music, they'll find it if they want to look for it, because this isn't the 90s anymore. I know this isn't the 90s anymore. It was 2016, and here is a brand new avenue to get into these bands. Like what I do with every other motherfucking video I do. I'm just giving you options and new ways of finding music. I mean, what is wrong with options? You know, I'm not claiming to reinvent the wheel or anything. I'm just giving you another place to stop and see what's out there. I mean, with that mentality, what's the point of anything then? What's the point of doing album reviews and discography reviews and skits? What's the point of anything? Life has no meaning. Fuck it. Justin Stainer, I just saw Skinny Puppy yesterday. Changed my life. Well, that's good. The stage show was pretty minimal compared to a lot of their previous tours, but I think the focus was more on Ohgr's performance art, I suppose. He did a pretty good job. Hey, we got a super chat. $2 from A-Man1998. Thank you so much. Thoughts on the upcoming Vomitory album? I've never actually heard of them, but I guess I'll have to listen to them now. Metal Manic. I've only listened to their most popular songs, like Friday, I'm in Love, Fascination Street. I need to listen to more Cure. What's a good album to start with? Disintegration, I think, is almost universally agreed to be their best album. Personally, I also really like The Head on the Door and Pornography quite a bit. Excellent albums. The common consensus is that Wish is the final great album they did, and then after that, they've had good albums, but not quite to that level. And some people prefer the really early stuff, which is more post-punk, and those albums are 17 Seconds, Three Imaginary Boys, and Faith. Excellent stuff. It's a completely different sound than The Cure became later known for in the late 80s and 90s. Like, they became more MTV friendly as the 80s went along, but they still didn't really sound like any other band that was out there. You know? They're always kind of doing their own thing. Skeletor 5567. I know you've got into this endlessly, but your early vids got me into Guar, Dystopia, and Ghoul. So thank you for that. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Crate Clouds. Really hopeful for a Kevin Key and Justin Broderick collab. They talked about it when Justin was on the Kevin podcast. Wouldn't that be awesome? Speaking of Justin, the new Godflesh album is supposed to be coming out in June. I haven't ordered it yet, but it's going to be awesome when it does finally materialize. What else could I talk about? Oh yeah, so I did 2 interviews pretty recently. I did one on the CD Collectors podcast, which you can listen to on YouTube, Spotify, and some other streaming platforms. I also did one for Mutilated Mohawk, which is a blog website, so it's a read interview. Oh hey, I finally got the invoice for the Vinson Invasion album. Cool. I was talking about that earlier, if you remember. Let's see, Mutilated Mohawk, Mutilated Me. I'm trying to find the interview for you, so you can all read it. I'll have the link to it below. But yeah, so 2 new interviews as of late. So if anybody wants to read those, feel free. And I got an Etsy order from somebody. Hey, could it be somebody on this stream? For those who are just joining, I have stickers. Killbot and Gorgor Attack stickers. These are 2.88-inch die-cut stickers made by Sticker Mule. They are durable and weatherproof. I've had 500 of them made. I'm really happy with the quality, and people have been buying these like hotcakes. So, if you would like to buy these, I will be happy to have these out before Monday, because I will be in New Orleans next week. But I'm asking $2 a piece if you're living in the United States, and if you live anywhere else in the world, it's just an extra $1 for shipping. So, $2 a piece, can't go wrong. Looks really good on notebooks, street posts, bathroom walls, and probably your face. Looks really good on my CD tower. I'll tell you that much. Stream 47 says, maybe leave a list of sites for music of the bands you review, or collections of similar music. Also, it's interesting to see someone interested in music I was listening to 36 years ago. Oh, how old are you now? I'm 27. See, my thing is, I don't really care how old or new music is, as long as it's good. You know, sometimes people are surprised at some of the stuff I listen to, but I like the historical aspects of music. You know, I had a guitar teacher once tell me that I could make a good musicologist. Sonic Doom Official, what are your thoughts on Liebach? Well, funny you mention. Where is it? Just got this in the mail recently. Gnarly stuff, man. I'm getting a lot of good stuff in the mail recently. And among these things, this has been on my want list for a while, Lords of the New Church. First album. Russian Roulette, Open Your Eyes. Fun stuff. Most of the Kiss albums. Finished off my Motorhead collection. Now I have everything by them, so pretty happy about that. Denisha says, good music is good music, don't care how old it is. Exactly. Okay, so may as well show you my bookshelf while I'm at it. And the audio is going to sound a little muffled here, but just bear with me. Here's my bookshelf. I found this at Office Depot a few days ago. And this was $100 if you sign up for their rewards program. So 3 shelves, and excuse me, this has the depth that can hold my records and my books, even the fucking tall, giant coffee books like True Norwegian Black Metal. The author, John Ray, recently sent me Gone to the Wolves, which is his brand new book that just came out. It's a story about metalheads in the 80s and 90s as teenagers that go on a big road trip, I guess. I haven't started reading it yet, but I'm getting ready to, because John was nice enough to send this to me. See, we got Ohgr's Brain Confetti over here. Again, watch the new video. Ohgr's Brain Confetti, seeing Skinny Puppy 4 times. That's the name of the video. I'm proud of it. Please go watch it. And interestingly, we have the Ministry photo book over here. You guys probably saw my video on that. Well, here's an outtake from that book. This is a spoon that was supposed to be used as a bookmark. It's got the Ministry logo here. This was a proposed idea for a bookmark, and the reason they didn't use it was because the logo rubs off too easy, supposedly. So the idea was scrapped. I need to find a better place for it. I just haven't done it yet. And once again, see the new fucking video. Skinny Puppy pendant. These were made by E.C. Brown Anomalies. He's charging $20 a piece plus shipping. He made these as a care package for Kevin, who in turn made them part of his live rig. So I thought that was pretty cool and respectable. And those who have seen the new video, do I have to say it again? Peter's tree. This is a leaf from the Peter Steele memorial tree that I was mentioning earlier in this live stream. This came from somebody who makes jewelry out of the leaves. Little card, the estate of Peter Steele. PeterSteeleRocks.com, that's the website that his family runs. And there's a little note, thanks for keeping Peter's music alive. So sad. Okay, so let's get back to the comments now that I've discussed the other things. Trauma Hound bought the signed Skinny Puppy poster, and then Paul Barker and Matthew signed it too. So awesome. Well, that's good. Very awesome. Funny thing about that, Matthew from Skinny Puppy signed under the Lead into Gold on the tour poster. And Barker saw it when he was signing it. He was like, now who would sign in my spot? It's a pretty congested area over there. But, hey, it's got everybody on that tour. And hopefully, Ohgr saw my video, The Quest for Last Rites, many years ago, so hopefully he sees this video. I sent a link to Dre, and I asked him to pass it along. Maybe he'll do it, maybe he won't. We'll see. I know those guys have a lot on their plates. Trauma Hound. Matthew hung out and chatted after the show. We were talking about cigars after the show because I saw that he had a cigar from a cigar factory in New Orleans. So I asked him about it. He was like, yeah, I really like these. So, Marquez in the flesh. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Ryan Beal. What's your opinion on Psycho Stick? I love their song on Bruce Campbell. It's catchy. I mean, you gotta think. These are grown men who record a song and they're playing kazoos. Doom Machine. How are you doing, Tony? Pretty good. Hatch. Kind of hard to send a message when 56 other people are sending comments. Well, I'm not deliberately ignoring anybody. I'm just kind of picking out what's here because I know there's a lot of people here. If there's something you want to say, please feel free to type it in. I'll try to read your next one. But yeah, so we got Killbot stickers, and we still have a ton of Killbot patches, which I'm asking $6.66 a piece for, free shipping anywhere in the world. And if you pay, I don't know, I guess $1 extra for these, I'll send you one of these too. So, check out my Bandcamp page and check out my Etsy page. That's where I have them. You can also buy them directly from me if you send me a private message on social media and you happen to have PayPal. So, $2 a piece for the stickers, $6.66 a piece for the patches. So, bring it on. Liven up your notebooks or your laptops or wherever you want to put your stickers. I'm sure some people are probably going to put them on their cars too. I had one guy, I think it was yesterday, he bought 30 stickers from me. 30. He said he was going to stick them all over bathrooms in Las Vegas. And he paid me $69 for them, which I thought was funnier than shit. My goodness. Okay, last time I'll send it from Hatch. Do you like Massasauga? Am I saying that right? Massasauga? They're a classic heavy / doom band from Coventry. I've never heard of them. I'll have to do so. Trauma Hound, do you have a battle vest? I used to have a leather jacket that I put patches on, but I never wore it, so I just sold it. Denisha says, I have a patch, haven't made my battle vest yet. Well, you should. And you should you should tag me in a post if you ever decide to post pictures of that vest, because I will be happy to share it. That's right. Anybody who buys a patch or buys stickers from me or buys a shirt from me for that matter, tag me in a post on social media when you get it, and I will be more than happy to share your picture. Metal Manic says, I will buy a sticker when I get paid on Tuesday because I already bought a patch 3 months ago. Yep, save your dollars. Only $2. It's hard to come by. Doom Machine. I know you tend to stick to the heavier side of metal, but how do you feel about bands like Gojira, Opeth, and Mastodon? I like all three of them. Like all three of them fine. Creates Cloud. Is the stream title a play on Frontline Assembly's IED? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because I just saw them in Richmond a few days ago. It's pretty awesome. Visited Plan 9 Records and visited the Vinyl Conflict while I was there. Plan 9 was okay, but the prices for the CDs were expensive, and they didn't really have a metal section. I did find the first Dead Can Dance album, so I left with that. Vinyl Conflict, on the other hand, had At the Gates and Dying Fetus, which made me happy. I also picked out a few stickers. They had some Bauhaus stickers, they had 9 Inch Nails, they had Cannibal Corpse. Great stuff. Okay, we started streaming 80 minutes ago, so I guess I'm going to have to get off here in a few minutes. I guess in a couple minutes. Better wrap things up. So, if there's anything anybody wants to say, please feel free to say so or forever hold your peace. Well, hold your peace till the next live stream. I just wanted to do one of these since it's been a while since I've done one. And John Schaefer's Music Legacy. Hey, Killbot. Hey, you're walking in right at the end. How you doing? City of Screaming Statues. Mike09, what are you reading right now? Well, the next book I'm going to be reading is called Gone to the Wolves. It is written by John Ray. It just came out on the 2nd. And it is about teenagers in the 80s and 90s who go on a metal-inspired road trip, supposedly. Haven't started reading it yet, but can't wait to. Callum Cook, it's been a pleasure, Killbot. Keep up the excellent stuff. Thank you so much. And y'all, check out the new video! It's only at a little over 3,000 views. Come on. Bring it up, baby. Let's do it. Lily McGreal, are you going to see Ted Nugent? Nope. He's fucking crazy. Devil Dozer, I've never heard you mention Deicide. Maybe you have. See my video, Scenes of a Metal Show. It's about going to see a Deicide show. Actually, it is my modern interpretation of Heavy Metal Parking Lot. It covers a metal show on a broader scope, between buying the merch, exploring the venue, exploring the town, talking to people between the sets, talking to the bands sometimes, and seeing the bands, of course. So, there you go. It's one of my favorite videos I've done. Creates Cloud. It was well done. Looking forward to the process video. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mio Akiyama, I want to say hi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Combat 97. Tony, what do you think of the Australian punk band Emil and the Sniffers? The Chats. Never heard of them. Okay, well. Metal Manic. Killbot, last question. Where are you actually born in North Carolina? Pitt County. John Schaefer's Music Legacy. Your videos relax me with my mom. 3 strokes right now. She's healing. I think you meant to say that your mom has had 3 strokes and she's healing from the 3rd one right now. Well, I hope she recovers well. Sorry to hear about your mom. Just positive thoughts mainly are going to help her, I think. And just take each day as it comes. Okay, well, thank you all so much for joining and grind on. Take care.